Got a very old gate operator here. Gonna replace these operators. These are about 25 years old, and the engine on one of them died, and so we're gonna swap it out with some newer equipment. These are pretty old. OSCO operator specialty controls. So we'll make that side the master because the electricity is on that side, and we'll hopefully be able to use this conduit and run another cable through there, mount a new actuator arm here, and install a new keypad there with a wireless communication back to here, so we don't got to worry about trying to figure that cable out. Got a receiver here for some wireless keypads. It's got a direct 110 electrical plug-in with no battery. And over the years, this has had just all kinds of ants and bugs and critters living in here. So we're gonna take this whole unit out and go with some linear actuators. So did some prep work to get this ready for the arms that are gonna mount here. They'll go onto this hole here and pivot, and this will be a piece of metal welded here to this support post. So I had to chip out some of this post because this concrete post is too far back. And basically that's the angle that it's going to have to be cut at and then welded here. This gives me my measurements of 6 inches in and 13 inches across. If I do this here. So that puts my hinge point for the arm here, which matches up with this. All right, so we got our control box attached to the wall here and got the electrical hooked up. Now we're gonna go and do some welding. We got some juice out here. We're gonna take this control arm base here and we're gonna mount that here on this 4x4 post. All right, so I got my extension plate here welded in, and then also the clevis that will attach to the control to the linear actuator arm. Put this in here. All right. So in the closed position, that's where everything needs to be. It's all lined up, and this is all nice and perpendicular, and there's no unusual tension on the linear actuator, and it's got plenty of room to move in here as it goes in and out. And got the other side done as well. Got this all welded up and connected. So next I'm gonna run this, hopefully run this wire underneath through that tiny piece of conduit over there, underneath, and carry that wire through and then up and into the control box here. Also going to take advantage of an existing arm here for a keypad. It has some wiring here. I'm hoping this is good. I'm going to do a test on it here soon, because this goes under this driveway. I found it over here. So I'm going to splice that and then take that into the control box too. I just like to have a wired connection if I can. Those are available wirelessly with batteries, but if I can get this to work here with a wired connection, then that'll be my go-to. Otherwise, I'll go with the wireless. So I went ahead and got my wiring that goes under the driveway here into some PVC, and we'll go ahead and bury this in that conduit there. And then this side here is all now hooked up and got the welding done, and painting is finished. Come over to the other side, same thing, got the welding complete, painting's done. And this here is the conduit that's coming in for the keypad. And thankfully that wire was still good. And we've got a linear AK-11 keypad on here. These are great keypads. They're like a hard metal construction all the way around, and there's no plastics with this. The sun won't tear it up. And everything's working great so far. I'll go ahead and show you what this looks like. Here's a wireless keypad from Security Brands. This connects to that receiver that's inside the control box there, the Ridge branded receiver. And this transmits on 433 megahertz just using a 9-volt battery. And that'll allow people that are already on the property to exit in case the gate is closed as they're coming out. Take a look inside the control box. And here inside the control box, we've got that Ridge receiver here that catches the signal from that wireless keypad. Here's the little antenna for it. And then that's just wired in to power and ground, and then to over here to the same inputs that take the commands from the linear keypad that's a hardwired keypad at the exit outside of the gates. That one just has 2 wires here to 18 and 19, and then power and ground as well for that. So looking at the control board, power in from the battery, linear actuator on the left and on the right. These are just wired in according to the instructions from Nice. And then coming around, got your receiver here with a small antenna hooked up. The linear actuator, the wireless keypad. Over here, these are the 2 for the button control. That's on the outside here. You've got this key here to turn on and off and enable this button. So pressing this button will open or close the gate if this is enabled. And then lastly, this is the alarm over here, and the alarm is underneath. You can see it right there. And this is a loud beep when the gate's in action, so anybody gets a warning that the gates are moving. And that's what's inside the control box. And there you go. That's closing in about 14 seconds, which is about par for the course. We're shooting for about 15 seconds or so. And it has the same thing, a little bit of a slow open, and then it'll speed up. And it'll slow down before it gets to the stop so it doesn't bang anything. There we go, running great. Hey, I hope this video was helpful. And as always, hope you have a great day.